Hey, this is the Sci-Fi Trader with a special alert to all species within range of my voice. Coming up, I've got Star Trek, the Next Generation film cells, the Dark Shadows 30th Anniversary Collector's Package, creature features from the mind of Art Adams, and the Decapitator, an original design from master model maker Randy Bowen. Plus lots more, so stay tuned for really cool stuff from the cosmos.
In the Milky Way galaxy, the ultimate wheel of good fortune, there is a minor solar system of 9 planets and some 60 moons. On the third stone from its youthful star, the carbon-based life forms have perfected the art of the deal. Certain members of this society, those of the sci-fi persuasion, in their hunger for the weird, the wonderful, and the ultimate shiny thing, have sent forth one of their own. A sci-fi trader known to aliens, androids, and files marked X. He has but one mission: to bring you cool stuff from the cosmos.
Hey there, welcome to my universe. I am the Sci-Fi Trader, and this week I have found something for everybody who loves to collect science fiction. And remember, all the cool stuff you see during the show can be ordered directly What if your favorite comic heroes could literally jump off the page? What if the best characters from horror and sci-fi could be reproduced in lifelike 3D? Well, sculptor Randy Bowen makes that happen every day.
About 7 years ago, a movement started in the United States called garage kits. It sort of filtered over from Japan, and that came over to the United States, and suddenly people were making monsters in their garage, hence the name garage kits.
He started out in the garage kit market where he would sculpt something and then actually build a mold for it, cast up pieces by hand. So he learned all that business from the ground up.
From his humble beginnings sculpting garage monsters, Randy Bowen has become one of the most revered pop art sculptors ever. His work is unique because he was the first to capture the true look and spirit of comic and science fiction superheroes. But now he's gone one step further and created a limited edition model kit from something that's truly special. His first original monster sculpture, the Decapitator. But why call it the Decapitator?
Well, because that's what he does. Actually, the story behind the Decapitator is the Decapitator started out to be a human being. He was abducted by aliens, taken to a sort of a warrior planet. His brain was removed, put into the cyborg body of this warrior called the Decapitator. And his captors have told him if he wants to get home to see his wife and kids, he's got to collect 1,000 heads of the monster warlords of the planet Necrom 4. So, therein lies the story.
Unlike other Bowen sculptures, the Decapitator wasn't influenced by a movie, TV show, or comic book, but its creation was influenced by master modelers from Japan.
A gentleman named Nirasawa in Japan came out with a kit called Failed Guyver, and his Failed Guyver was a mutated version of the Guyver holding the head of a Lon Chaney that I had sculpted. And so my tip of the hat to him was to cut the head off of the Failed Guyver and having Decapitator holding that head. So it's strange, but people enjoy it.
The many comic artists and science fiction characters that have influenced Randy over the years can be seen in every aspect of the Decapitator model kit, from the sculpture itself right down to the box that it came in.
There's a little bit of Giger-esque, the designer of the Alien films. There's a little bit of the Borg. There's a little bit of, some Frank Frazetta. But the packaging is my paying homage to Jack Kirby and the comic artists of the 70s.
He really is the best. I mean, as far as all of the people that are involved in creating sort of fantasy-based figures, He's absolutely the best.
Because this is the first original monster model kit from sculptor Randy Bowen, you're almost guaranteed that it will become an instant collectible classic. And that means you'll want to get your hands on one today. Stay tuned for more cool stuff from the cosmos. Welcome back to Cool Stuff from the Cosmos, the show that's all about the fine art of collecting cool sci-fi. Now remember, you can order any of these treasures you see during the show just by... Our next treasure is a real treat for fans of Dark Shadows, the classic gothic horror TV show that's celebrating its 30th anniversary this year. To celebrate this milestone, I've got the Dark Shadows Almanac signed by the authors and the music of Dark Shadows on CD, all in one incredible set. Now here's something you can really sink your teeth into.
Dark Shadows went on the air on June 27th, 1966. It ran for 4.5 years. I'll tell you, when we did Dark Shadows, we knew we were doing something special. I mean, it was great fun. And it was something unique for television, and especially for daytime with all of those special effects and everything.
Dark Shadows was credited with many firsts for a daytime television drama. It was the first to attract a substantial following of young viewers, with millions of kids running home from school to watch Jonathan Frid as Barnabas the Vampire, Laura Parker as Angelique, David Selby as Quentin Collins, and Catherine Lee Scott as Maggie Evans, Josette Dupre, and a host of other characters.
The thought that I get fan mail from people who tell me that they were, you know, babysitting or that they were going to school, that they were in college, or that they were new mothers, and some of them are now grandmothers. I mean, that's an amazing run.
It was also the first daytime drama to feature supernatural themes and special effects, and it continues to be a fan favorite airing in syndication on the Sci-Fi channel.
I think that we were the first show, certainly a daytime show, that used those kinds of special effects, and that allowed us to have the bat flying around, and it allowed, for example, Laura Parker to be in one place in the set playing a ghost, and for me to be up on Widow's Peak, and for Jonathan Frid as Barnabas the Vampire to be somewhere else, and for the three of us to play a scene together, sort of disembodied.
Even fans who've been watching Dark Shadows since the beginning would have a tough time keeping track of everything that's happened. But with the help of the Dark Shadows Almanac, fans can follow the events that took place over the entire series.
The reason why the Almanac has been so popular this year, not only is it the 30th anniversary and we have a lot of photographs that have never been published before, but I think it's the Collins family tree, it's all of the trivia, and the fact that there's every single episode, all 1,225 episodes that are talked about in the plot line. You can find out who did the episode and when it aired, who else was in it, who directed it, everything you could possibly want to know about those vintage episodes. The Almanac, I have to show you, the Almanac has pages of color photographs that have never been published before. Here's a wonderful one of Laura Parker, and yes, those are all the ghouls on the show.
Looking back on 30 years of Dark Shadows, anyone who watched the series knows that the music set the tone and created the mood of each episode. And now it's available for the first time on CD with many rare and previously unreleased tracks.
The CD is absolutely wonderful. Again, people have been asking for this music for years. You know, Bob Cobert is really a fabulous composer, and his music for Dark Shadows, some of those selections were in the top 10. Quentin's theme, Ode to Angelique, and the Josette's Music Box theme, and the Blue Whale. They're wonderful pieces.
This 30th anniversary Dark Shadows package featuring the Dark Shadows Almanac and music CD is what fans of Dark Shadows have been waiting for. Stay tuned, because coming up next, I've got film cells from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Welcome back to Cool Stuff. On the collectibles market, things that had little value 15 or 20 years ago are now highly sought after by collectors and fans. For example, cartoon animation cells that were once tossed out at Disney and Warner Brothers are now collectible pop art. Today, in the world of science fiction, fans are turning to original film cells from their favorite movies and TV shows as the new collectible classic. And this week, Cool Stuff has come across a series of 5 film cells from Star Trek: The Next Generation that are already sought after by fans.
It means for the fans that they're able to own a piece of Star Trek history, that they are actually able to take a piece of film that was part of the Star Trek legacy and own it, and that each one is an original, and that adds an enormous amount of collectability.
With fans celebrating 30 years of Star Trek adventures, this is the perfect time to seek out Star Trek collectibles that are unique and have the potential to go up in value.
We take the reels of film from Paramount, and they're sent over to our offices, and we actually hand pick scene by scene. When the film's gone, it's gone. End of story. Can never be reproduced again under any circumstances. So that, in fact, makes it a very unique collectible in the sense that everyone's an original. No two people will ever own the same film cell.
It's like a one-of-a-kind item. It's like a one-of-a-kind serial cell that they put out. It's the limited edition that's put out. It's not going to be produced again, and it can't be produced again.
I think it's also important to note that every frame that we use is approved by the talent.
Each Star Trek original film cell contains 3 frames of 35mm film, along with corresponding photos from Star Trek: The Next Generation on the front and back.
They're put together by hand, one at a time. The film cells are actually loaded into the cards before they go into the plastic case, and they're stickered on with a hologram, which to a certain degree protects the value of the film cell, and that holograms are very difficult to produce. So that's our attempt to stop any fraudulent duplication of the film cells.
Star Trek: The Next Generation TV series featured many favorite characters, including Captain Picard, Q, and the Borg.
The Borg is by far probably the most popular of the Next Generation villains. Obviously, with the new movie coming out, they are going to be, the bad guys.
The themes in this edition are Q, Relics, which is the episode that featured James Doohan, Encounter at Farpoint, and we do a card called the Borg card, and that features the character Hugh from the episode I, Borg, which ties in very, very nicely to the upcoming feature film.
Each original film cell case contains 3 35mm film cells, along with scene master photos, front and back, plus insightful information on the episodes and characters. Now let's check out something I found at my Area 52 warehouse, something very special for you Star Trek fans. 30 years may not be the golden anniversary of Star Trek, but what I've got is a golden opportunity for collectors. It's the 23-karat gold foil card commemorating one of Star Trek's most popular episodes, City on the Edge of Forever. The Star Trek original genuine 23-karat gold sculptor trading card is minted on a sheet of genuine gold foil and contains over 17 square inches of pure gold. The series is limited to 10,000, and to ensure collectability, each card is machine stamped with your own individual serial number. Order the Star Trek City on the Edge of Forever gold card for just $29.95 plus shipping and handling. Order this very special Star Trek collectible for yourself or as a gift. Coming up, what do Godzilla, the creature from the Black Lagoon, and Monkey Man and O'Brien all have in common? Well, they're all featured in the pages of Creature Features from Art Adams. What if you could go back to a time when comics were filled with thrills, fun, and adventure? When stories took you on a journey into a dimension of danger, and when monsters ruled the earth? Want to feel like an 8-year-old all over again? Well, I think I have found the fountain of youth in the latest Dark Horse Comics release. From the mastermind and infectious pen of Art Adams comes Creature Features. It's alive!
Oh dear, what I do for a living. I sit around the apartment and watch TV. Oh, what I do for a living. I draw comic books for a living. I write and draw my own comics.
When it comes to the fine art of classic comic storytelling, look no further than Creature Features, a cosmic collection of monster hits from Art Adams.
This is Art Adams Creature Features, reprints my Godzilla color, the Godzilla color special, which Dark Horse did some years ago. Godzilla versus Gekidojin.
As far as why Arthur's perfect for Godzilla, I think that can be answered if you ever see his apartment. My favorite part is the kids that write letters. I mean, we get more letters on Godzilla than anything else, and they're usually from kids who are just like writing, I love Godzilla, you know, dear Godzilla, please destroy this.
And also in the book are the very first appearance of my characters, the ones I own. Called Monkey Man and O'Brien. Monkey Man's a brilliant scientist from another dimension, a gorilla dimension, and Anne O'Brien is the daughter of a famous billionaire. In the accident that brought Monkey Man to the universe they occupy, there was some strange radiation that Anne O'Brien absorbed, and she became a 7-foot-tall powerhouse.
Many of these stories are rare and hard to find and originally appeared in black and white. But now all 104 pages of this book of art are in full living color.
Creature is also one of his favorite movies of all time, and he really expressed an interest in it, and we weren't going to say no. I mean, Arthur's one of the best-loved artists in the business.
To this day, I can't watch Creature from the Black Lagoon again. I love it. It's a great movie, but I watch 2 minutes of it a day for about 4 months, and I'm sorry, it was too much.
There's also a shocking new cover by Art, featuring Art and his amazing artistic creations. I know it's strange, but it's all true.
Hey! Who did that?
Arthur is probably the most imitated comic artist in the business. Up-and-coming artists who look at his work and strive to draw like him, to pace their stories like he does, to lay their pages out the way he does.
The reader doesn't know everything that I know about the story, so I try to make everything very clear and very neat and tidy. And
it's everything comics should be.
I'm just trying to do a book that can appeal to a wide variety of audiences. I hope there'll be some jokes in it that adults will say, oh, wait a minute, he's saying something else here. But then there'll be lots of, giant gorillas fighting monsters that kids will dig too. I'm a traditionalist. I love now what I loved when I was a kid, and I hope to copy it and for the rest of my life.
If you love it, that energy shows in your work, and nobody does it better than Arthur.
I hate anything new or imaginative. All valuable quotes for the show.
Well, here's something new and imaginative. It's the brand new release from Dark Horse Comics, Creature Features. And now here's how you can order your very own copy of this instant hit. Now, to order any of today's cool stuff, well, there you have it. Hope you enjoyed this week's show. And don't forget, to order, just call us anytime. If you need to reach me, I'll be out searching the galaxy for more cool stuff from the cosmos. Gotta go.